So today you're going to study on the basics of your welded connection. Till now we were discussing on bolted connection. Okay. So the welded connection, you can have you seen this welded connection before?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So suppose you are having two metal plates like this. One is here and one is here. So in order to join this together, in order to join this one and this one together, what we do is we'll apply the weld over here. We'll apply the weld over here. So this kind of connection where we join two elements with the help of either the same parent material or a material which is having more strength than this one, a material which is having more strength than the plate used, then such a section or such a type of connection is called as a welded connection. Make sure that the material used is either of the same property, the material used is either of the same property or it is having a property which is greater than this parent material. Otherwise what will happen is when you are applying the load, what will happen, this thing will fail, this welded portion will fail first if the material property is very much less than this one. So we need to provide a material which is having same strength or strength higher than the parent material. Parent material means the material which is being used or which is connected. That is called as the parent material. So advantage of a welded connection over the other joints is welded joints offer more efficient use of materials, and it is due to welding only that we are able to have a one piece construction. That is, all the joint which we have joined will be rigid joints. That is, we can't further alter it, or we need to break it. It will be a one piece construction. Welding helps in speeding up the erection and construction process, thereby compressing production schedule. That is, the use of welding, or if we are connecting by welding process, it will be very easy for the erection or which easy for the construction. That is, it won't take much time as that of your bolted connection when compared to other joints. Okay, and it is compared to other joints. The advantage is when it compared to other joints, it itself has some demerits, but when compared to other joints, it won't take much time, because if we have the ready-made thing with us, we just need to apply the weld over the connection portion. We don't need to drill a hole. We don't need to go for providing the bolt and all. It won't take much time, because drilling a hole for the bolted connection will take much time. Then after that, keeping the position, all those things are very much important in while case of a bolted connection. But in this case, we don't need such things. We just need to keep the plates or keep the members together, and we need to apply the weld. That's enough. Welding offers light Welding offers lightweight construction, and thus cost of construction is reduced. How will this offer lightweight construction is that if we want to make a butt joint type of thing, we are forced to add additional plates also, cover plates also, which means the self weight of the cover plates is also included in the connection. But in case of welded connection, we don't require such cover plates. As a result, the net weight the structure will be lightweight, as well as it cuts the cost of construction, because we don't use that much amount of material for the cover plate and all, and the bolted arrangement there, that also will cause you material weight, which can be reduced. So connecting steel plates are reduced or eliminated, thereby reducing the self weight of the structure, and thus the cost of construction is also what reduced. Then we have, in welding, no deduction for holes are made, thus whole of the gross section is effective in carrying the load. That is, when we are in a welding in a bolted connection, we require a lot of holes. As a result, what the net area of the section is reduced. When the net area is reduced, that section will become what, a weaker area, isn't it? When the net area is reduced, that section will become a weaker area, and as a result, the whole section cannot be used for calculating the strength. Definitely, the strength of the section is reduced. So in this case, there is no deduction for holes. As a result, the whole of the gross section is effective in carrying the load, which means the main member or the parent metal will be having the full area that it was made of, and that, as a result, it will be having its complete strength. The next one is welded joint perform better in case of fatigue loads, impact loads, and vibrations. Fatigue load, impact load means it is repeated load when it happens to a structure The bolted connection, what happens is that when you have written the assignment, you might have understood the bolted connection there occurs what it can the nut and the bolt arrangement will become loose, and there occurs the force transfer will not take place completely. But in case of welded connection, what happens is it can take enough amount of impact load, vibration, and fatigue loads. The next one, the welding offers complete freedom to architects and the engineers for their design. That is, whatever things you want to mold, they can easily make it with the help of a welded connection. But it's not the same in case of the bolted or riveted connection. Whatever shape you think of, you can make it with the help of welded connection. You can join the metals in such a way that whatever arrangement you require, you can make it in that way. But in case of a bolted connection, you cannot make much inclined or much curved positions. It won't be possible in case of a bolted connection when compared to your welded connection. Then the types of welded connection or welded joints. Suppose you are having two plates like this. There are two plates like this. You need to join these plates together. You need to join these plates together. So we'll apply the weld over here. Keep it together. We'll keep it together, and we'll apply the weld over here such that these two pieces now will be together. Now suppose I want to connect this piece. I want to connect this piece and this one. So what I do is I'll keep it over here and I'll apply the weld like this. I will apply the weld like this. And similarly, if we have a joint like this, we'll apply the weld over here. We'll apply the weld over here such that sometimes we may apply the weld over here also. Based on the load carrying or required action, we'll apply. Suppose we are applying the weld over here. Now, suppose I want to join this plate and this plate, I will be applying the weld over this position, isn't it? I will be applying the weld over here, and sometimes I will be applying in this direction also. Now, if I want to make a T joint, I will be applying the weld here, and I will be applying the weld at this direction over here, isn't it? So based on this application or based on the type of connection, the welded joints are mainly classified, or types of welded joints are butt joint. That is, what we do is we'll join these together, as we have seen here. We will join these together by a welded connection in between them. See, where there's a groove being made here. There's a groove, small groove like arrangement made here, and the two plates will be joined using this metal, and we will finish this at the top such that this will now act as a single element having a groove like this, which will be finished. This portion will be finished. It will be having a groove like this. So this butt joint is also called as groove joint. This butt joint is also called as groove joint. That is, we will make a small kind of parent metal will be welded in between these two metals such that it will act as a single unit. The second type is called as lap joint. That is similar to what you have seen in a bolted connection. A bolt will be arranged here, but here what we do is we'll make it with the help of a a weld, and such kind of connection is called as a lap joint. Such a connection is called as a lap joint, and this here we will connect these elements in this way. That is, at the corner we will be applying the weld like this. Such type of connection is called as a corner connection. We can see here it's a corner connection. Then the next type of connection is edge connection. That is, we are applying the weld only at this point. We are applying the weld only at this point, and such a type of connection is called as an edge connection. And the next one is T joint. That is, we are applying the weld over here as well as this point. When you are looking the cross section, you will get the weld is being applied over here and the weld is being applied over here. Such a connection is called as a T joint. That is, if you are taking the top view, we will be getting like this. That is, butt joint means what? The two plates are connected. The two plates are connected, and the weld is applied between the two plates, such that these two things will act as a single unit. In a lap joint, I will be applying the weld over here as well as I will be applying the weld over here. Now, in case of a T joint, the weld will be applied over here and the weld will be applied over here. And the corner joint, it will be joined like this, and the weld will be applied in this way. And for edge connection, that is, in order to increase the thickness of the member, we will apply the weld in this way, and proper finishing will be made. And make sure that this weld material is having enough strength equivalent or greater than the parent material. Now, the major two types of connections you need to study, that is the first one, that is the fillet weld, or the second one that is the groove or butt weld. The second type of connection, that is, suppose if this type of connection is made, that is, we are having two plates like this. We are connecting with the help of a weld which is being arranged. This plate is going like this. This plate is actually going like this. So what we do is we'll apply the weld also in the same way. We'll apply the weld also in the same way throughout the joint. Then such a weld is called as fillet weld. Such a weld is called as fillet weld. Now suppose for the corner we are arranging like this, lab we are arranging like this. That is, this will form a weld in this shape. This will form a weld in this shape. Now suppose for the same thing, I am making a small groove over here. I'm making a small groove over here and applying the weld such that this piece and this piece now will be together. This piece and this piece will be together. Such a weld is called as a butt weld or a groove weld. Understood? That is, if I am having a piece like this, I am having a piece like this, and another piece like this, what I do is I'll cut a small portion from here and a small portion from here, and I will fill it with what? Fill it with the welding material, and I'll join it together. And I will fill it with the welding material such that now these two will act as a single unit, and it will be seen like this. These two will act as a single unit, and this will be seen like this. And this type of arrangement or this type of connection is called as a groove or butt connection. And if there is no groove made, or this is simply connected in the form of this shape, then it is called as a fillet connection. So you can see the zoomed view of this one. That is, this is a weld, sorry, this is a butt or groove connection. This kind of connection is called as a fillet connection, fillet weld. And here this phase where this is applied is called as the fusion phase. And the other thing is the weld material. This is the weld material, and the main plate which is connected is called as the parent material. So is it okay up to here? Any doubt? And the next one is, we'll have a detailed view of the fillet weld. That is, if the welding type is made in this way, if the weld is made in this way, that is, it is connected with the parent material in this way, then the type of weld is called as your fillet weld. That is, I can say the fillet weld is provided when two metal surfaces to be joined are at different planes. That is, this plane is over here, this is having plane over here, and this is plane over here. Similarly, this plane is over here, and the other plane is over here. When the planes are different, when the planes lies on different, the section lies on different planes, I can say that I will use what? A fillet weld. The fillet welds are easy to make, requires less material preparation, are easy to fit than the butt welds. That is, we don't need to make a groove, we don't need to have perfect connection. That is, we just need to fix the position of these two plates. That's enough. And after that, we can straight away go for in light load. Strength is the governing design factor, and fatigue or brittle fracture is not a problem. Their fillet welds are more economical. That is, where we require a rigid connection, that is, there is no impact or vibration, then we'll go for what? We'll go for this kind of joint, that is fillet weld. That is, the stiffness is the main criteria. That is, we require the stiffness is the main criteria. That is for lightweight structures, or there is a small residential and all. If there is no vibration or impact or fatigue load, then we will go for this fillet weld type of connection. The next one is butt weld or groove welds. This, it's not like this. It will be, the representation of this groove weld is represented like this. Okay. That is, we will make a small groove here, and we will be applying the weld over this one. You see, the groove is made like this, and we will be applying the, here also the groove is made like this, and we will be applying the welded this. And here you can see what is the advantage of this. Suppose a stress is being transferred from here to here, The other case, in the fillet weld, it was like this. like this. When the load is being applied, what happens? This load is not in the same line. This load is not in the same line. This one is acting in this line, this one is acting in this line, which means an additional stress is being developed here. And this additional moment is being developed here. But in this case, if you want to have a straight transfer of the stresses, this kind of load arrangement is needed. That is, we require a groove weld or butt weld when there is smooth flow of the stresses. That is, the stresses won't change its path. There won't be any change in the stress path. Such type of connection we require in butt welds. If the butt welds join having the same characteristic as that of the parent material, that is, if we are using the butt welds as same as that of the parent material, and is flush smooth on both sides of the parent material, that is, after being welding is done, we'll make it level or make it smooth, and has good complete penetration with no unweld zones, then butt joint approaches the condition of a no joint. What does that mean? That is, if I am having two plates like this, I am connecting with the help of a butt joint, and if I'm applying proper finishes and all, then I could say that this material and this material now becomes a single monolithic or single material. That is, I can say that the butt joint approaches the condition of a no joint, which means I could say that there is not a joint, because I told at the beginning the weakest point in a connection is the weakest point in a structure is the connection. So if we are applying such kind of connection and the connection is proper and according to the design, then I could say that this material and this material now acts as a single unit. Now the third kind of connection is slot and plug weld. Actually, if you want to connect two materials like this, one plate is here and other plate is here. So if you want to connect like this, what I do is I will make a small hole over here. I'll make a small hole over here, and those small hole I will fill it with the welded material, such that these two now will act as a single unit. Now the second one is I will make a bigger hole like this, and I will apply the weld. At the ends over here. I'll apply the weld over the ends over here. I'll not fill the complete hole. I'll apply the weld only over here. Then such type of welding is called as a slot weld. So is it okay up to here? Now the next is certain things we need to now our discussion will be limited to fillet weld. That is, whatever things we are studying in fillet weld, our discussion will be limited because we have the design for the fillet weld only. Okay. So the first concept that you need to understand is the structural behavior of fillet weld. That is, here if I am having two plates like this, what I do is I'll connect it with the help of a fillet weld. I will connect it to the help of a fillet weld in this way. That is, I will be applying the weld over here. I'll be applying the weld over here. That is, this is the expanded view of this. You can see there are two plates like this. Actually, this is a plate. Okay, there are two plates like this. The first plate is this one. And the second plate is this one. What I do is I will join this plate with the help of a weld. And this type of weld is called as your fillet weld. Now, this portion is called as the fusion phase. This portion of the weld is called as the fusion phase, and the smallest or the minimum dimension of the fillet weld is this one, right? This is the displacement. That is the shortest dimension of this, and that minimum dimension of a fillet weld is called as the throat thickness, denoted by T suffix T. Have you understood? That is the minimum distance of this fillet weld. That is, this distance of the fillet weld we'll call it as throat thickness, and it is called as TT, small t, suffix small t. That is, it is the minimum dimension of the fillet weld, and this dimension is called as the leg or size of the weld. So these terms you will come across when you are dealing with what? The welded connection throughout. That is, first one is throat thickness and the second one is size of the weld. So have you understood that? Throat thickness means the minimum dimension of the fillet weld, and this one fusion phase means the phase which is we are applying the weld, and the size of the weld is this distance is the size of the weld. So is it okay?
Yes, sir.
That is throat thickness. Throat. It is a part of the weld which is assumed to be effective in transferring the stress. We will assume that through this point the stress is getting transferred. It is the weakest plane in the fillet weld. It is said as is the weakest plane because it is the smallest distance. I'll consider the plane in this way. I'll show you. I'll consider the plane in this way. That is, I'm having I'm having my fillet weld in this. I'm having my plate this way. I'm having my plate this way. This is my plate. This is my plate, and I'll be applying the weld in this way. I'll be applying the weld like this. In this direction, I'll be applying the weld. The weld will be there. Weld will be applied like this. So this small distance is my throat thickness. So when I am considering a plane which is like this, a plane like this will be considered as my weakest plane. That is the throat thickness into this length of the weld. That is, this is, suppose this is L. I'll tell you what, this is L effective, and this is TT. Then my area or the weakest plane area will be L effective into TT. That is the weakest area, because the length of the weld is same when I am seeing from this point and from this point and this point. But the weakest dimension here is what? This throat thickness. The weakest dimension here is the throat thickness. So the weakest plane or the weakest area of the plane will be the L effective into TT plane. So the failure occurs, always the failure occurs with respect to this plane. So it has a thickness called as the throat thickness, and it is the minimum dimension in a fillet weld. That is called as your throat. When coming to the specification of a fillet weld, the fillet weld should not be used if the angle between the fusion faces is less than 60 degree or greater than 120 degree. That is, here the angle between the fusion faces is what? 90 degree, right? Here the first plate is like this, the second plate is like this. When you are applying the fillet weld, the fusion faces are at an angle of 90 degree. But if I am applying a fillet weld, there is a condition that the angle should be less than 60 degree and not greater than 120 degree. What happens here is, so I'm applying the fillet weld over the position like this. I'm having a plate. I'm having two plates like this. If I'm joining by a fillet weld, and the fusion phase angle is less than 60 degree, what happens is I can't apply the weld over this point effectively. No one, the labor who is doing can't enter his welding rod over here such that the welding won't be proper. That is the case. We don't go for an angle which is less than 60 degree. And when it is coming to greater than, if I'm applying a weld with a fusion phase greater than this one, what happens here is additional stresses will be developed. And if I'm applying a small force over here, what happens? This can easily go in this direction, because the gravity itself, it is lying like this. And if I'm applying a small load, the angle is greater than 120 degree. What happens? This won't sustain in this position. So if I'm applying a fillet weld, I should make sure that the angle is less than 60 and greater than 120 degree. The next one is the throat thickness. The throat thickness, I told you, it is the smallest dimension in a fillet weld. And throat thickness, the code gives you the equation for writing the throat thickness. TT, I could write it as TT is equal to S factor K into size of the weld. I told you what is the size of the weld. The size of the weld means what? This distance is the size of the weld. That is the size of the weld. That is, I could write TT is equal to some K into the size of the weld, where K is a constant which depends on the angle between the fusion phases. The angle between the fusion phases should be between 60 and 120 degree, and this K value depends on the angle between the fusion phases. That is, I could write the smallest dimension throat thickness TT is equal to some K into size of the weld, and this K value is given by your IS 800/2007 in table number 22. They have given the values for K for different angle between the fusion phases. That is for different angle from 60 to 90 degree they have given like this. That is the K value is 0.7. For 91 to 100 the K value is 65 0.65. For 101 to 106 it is 0.6, and up to 120 degree. That is, it should not be greater than 120 degrees. So K value is 0.5. So based on the angle between the fusion phases, you get the value for your K. And if you get the value for your K, and if you know the size of the weld, you could get the value for your throat thickness. Size of the weld. I had told you the throat thickness is equal to K into size of the weld. Now we need to see how to find the size of the weld. The size of the weld is actually, you have the fusion phases here, you have the fusion phases here. This distance is the size of the weld, and this distance is your throat thickness. So the code table number 21 of your IS 800 2007, you have the minimum size of the first run or of a single run fillet weld. That is, we are having a fillet weld with single run. That is, we are having a fillet weld on a one line. We are having such a thing is called as a single run. Then the size of the weld is based on the thickness of the thicker part. That is, based on thickness of the thicker part. If the thickness is up to 10 mm, then the minimum size of the weld is 3 mm. That is, we need to apply a weld which is having a size minimum 3 mm. That is based on the thickness of the thicker part up to 10 mm. If the plate is having thickness up to 10 mm, this plate is having thickness, this plate is having thickness, suppose this is having thickness 6 mm, this is having thickness 6 mm, this is having thickness 9 mm. Then the minimum size of the weld required is what? According to this is 3 mm. Now suppose this plate is having thickness 12 mm and this is having thickness 18 mm. This is having thickness 18 mm. Then the minimum size of the weld is from 10 to 20 mm. The minimum size of the weld required is what? 5 mm. That is, I could write the minimum minimum is 5 mm. From 20 to 32 it is 6 mm, and 32 to 50 8 for the first run and 10 for minimum size of the weld. That is, we can go up to minimum size is 10 mm. Okay, so when the minimum size of the weld depends on the size of the thicker part, thickness of the thicker section depends or determines the minimum size of the weld. Is it okay?